It's an interesting world. It's definitely, so you either got to go with raise the taxes.
Yeah.
You either got to bring more cash in. This is just business, right?
It's business. It's just business.
You got two choices. Either raise the taxes or you.
What's going on, everybody? So on today's show, we have none other than Chris Eymann. Chris, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Man, I've been following you for a little bit. I know you're big in the real estate game. I'm learning a little bit about the real estate game. But for sure, I know you're crushing it.
We do all right, yeah.
Right? How long you been in the game?
24 years.
Man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Real estate, because there's a lot. I mean, it's sexy today. It's popular today in the last maybe 6-7 years, or maybe 10 or something.
Yeah, it's just, obviously social media makes it look a lot different than it. When I started, there was none of that. So
Yeah.
now you got social media and everybody can make it look sexy or not.
Right. They're like flip houses, wholesale, sub 2. You got everything going on, right? But they just don't show the grind and the hour tireless nights and right.
It's a real business. It's like
Right.
you can dabble in it or you can run a real business.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people dabble more than they run a real business.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to be like that 20-hour work week and do one deal a week or something crazy. And you're looking for multiple deals, right?
Yeah. No. We average around 400 houses a year. So
that's a lot.
That's a real business, right?
Yeah.
So it's not. You can side hustle real estate for sure.
Yeah.
There's 60 or 70,000 agents in Arizona. So obviously there's plenty of people that it's probably that same rule. The top 10% do 90% of the business, but the back 90% do 10%. So
do you think that rule still sticks? That was the Plato method, right? Yep. I think it was 80-20 or whatever it was. And then went to 90-10. Do you think it's still like a 90-10, like a 10% of the workforce does 90% of the work?
I think so.
Because in my mind, I feel like it's gone lower, like 5%.
Yeah, I haven't actually run the numbers, but I kind of feel like the guys that are out there running a real business, pretty much dominate the business. But you got a guru around every corner. So they're like Circle K's. Here's a guru. Here's a guru here. Right?
They're the masters and they know everything, but they ain't doing nothing.
Right.
They ain't doing nothing. Right. It's like, what do you have to show for it? Oh, I have this course. Okay. Well, what else do you have, bro?
Yeah.
400 houses a year is a ton of houses.
Yeah. But if you look at if you break that down, that's only 30 some houses a month.
That's a lot, bro. That's one a day.
Yeah. But if you look at Phoenix as a whole, there's 8,000 to 10,000 transactions a month. So I'm only getting 30. So
it's pretty good though.
In the scheme of things
Yeah. No, you're right.
So, because people are like, oh, the real estate's all changing. They're changing everything up. Like, how is it going to affect you? I'm like, all I need to do is 30 houses next month.
Yeah. You're going to flow with it anyways, whatever's happening, right?
Right, exactly. You're
going to flow. You're going to, whatever you need to do. If the price cuts get done, you just got to buy it right or whatever you're doing. We'll get to some other questions, but since we're on this topic, like what exactly does your company do? What's the name of your company?
Sell wholesale houses.
Sell wholesale houses. So is that all you guys are specializing in is wholesaling?
Yeah, we're just, I started at the foreclosure steps back in 99.
Yeah.
Obviously, foreclosures went away. Everybody has equity. Everybody wants to knock on their door, cold call them, text them, however they want to do it. So a lot of the foreclosures don't actually make it to the steps now. So that was a pivot probably in about 2017. We're like, all right, we got to go direct to seller and get these and then just wholesale them off. And that's, you got the guys that like to do the fix and flip.
Yeah.
All we like to do is, do our marketing, acquire the houses, send them to our list, wholesale them off, and then you guys go fix and flip them. And it's just a marketing game and a dispo game. And then we're a local hard money lender too. So
nice.
Everybody, watches the HGTV show and they're ready to go do it, right?
Yeah.
They're going to need you to drywall some of it, right? And so they don't have all the cash, so they come to us, they buy the house. We'll lend them 85% of the money.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we give them 12% money.
Okay, 12%.
Yeah.
That's annual? That's a hard fee? What is that?
Annualized, yeah.
Okay.
So 1% a month-ish.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, so.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm not running a credit check. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just...
Well, you take a lien, you put a lien on the house and
just
property, whatever. Yeah.
First position, deed of trust, but round numbers, it's worth 300. You buy it for 220. I'll lend you like 200, 195.
Were you doing this? Were you loaning out money and before the market crashed? Were you doing any of it?
I had a $100 million. I was a partner in a company that had a $100 million line of credit in 2007. We had a Wells Fargo Foothill was our lender. Had $80 million on the street. I lost $4.5 million in 2008.
Yeah. Everybody lost.
Yeah, right. Not a good time.
I wasn't in business. I started in 2009.
Okay.
But I mean, I was an employee and I lost. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody. So when that happened, this is no lie, is I just got married, 2008. Everything tanked, right? My in-laws, the crash came. Our church, their pastors, the church kind of took big, massive hits, right? Because nobody got no money to give.
Exactly.
And so I get married. My wife's pregnant. Her brother he passed away, got arrested. So, and his wife moved in with us because they had a hard time. Then my in-laws moved in with us.
Uh-oh.
It was 3 families in 2008, 2009 in my house. It was rough. You know what I mean?
It was busy.
It was rough, bro. Everybody fighting. I love them all. But I was just curious because I remember we were doing I was dabbling in it a little bit at that time with my dad, and I seen some of the hard money go up. Like some of the interest rates went up really high at that time.
18%.
I was gonna say 18%.
Yeah.
Why isn't it like that now?
Too much cash in the game.
Okay.
So all these when the market crashed, all these big box buyers came in and started buying up all the houses, right?
Mm-hmm. The Black Rocks and all that. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So they also learned that like, hey, they're buying all these houses and they're like, oh, what's this hard money piece right here?
Yeah.
Oh, like we can deploy capital here. So a bunch of capital came in. So you
got to be competitive.
Supply and demand, right?
Yeah. So you're saying, hey, we're not going to go up that high in order to compete to be able to help your customer purchase a property possibly from you or someone else, right?
Yeah.
And because you're competing against all these big conglomerate companies, right?
Yeah. So what the private money space or hard money space was never a space where New York played in, and then they realized they're like, oh wait, we can generate these loans that are going to generate 10, 11, 12%. And so they learned how to just monetize those. They create a loan and they sell them on the secondary market just like they do, the regular house loans. And so more money comes into the space, more cash, got to becomes competitive, lower your price.
Yeah. So I totally get that. That makes a lot of sense that you're saying that. Yeah. Cause I remember, all the big, they weren't involved in this. They were doing commercial deals.
Yeah.
They were big, they weren't looking at the residential space.
Yeah.
Now they're all looking. I mean, everybody, Buffett, Gates, everybody's
Everybody's buying houses.
Everybody's buying. They're trying to buy 10, 20,000 at a time, and crazy numbers, right?
Well, it's kind of stopped because their money has gotten too expensive. When there was like 3% money, 4% money. Yeah. But now their money's costing them like 7.5. Now all of a sudden it doesn't, and the prices have increased, so the margins aren't there. So
because you figure at 3-4% and they're giving it out at 12, that's 8%. You 4% goes into profit, 4% overhead and all that stuff. Now it's 3%, 4% total.
Yeah,
leaves you with like 2 points or 1 point, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying it right.
You're saying it right.
Yeah. I like it, man. So you were born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
We've never met.
No. I've been right here.
You've been right here this whole time, man. Killing the game. 400 houses a year. Jesus, I need a house, bro. I'm trying to buy a few, and I'm trying to look and learn it. I don't want to be a whole real estate guy, but I want to get a few properties for my kids.
Yeah, no, I've helped my kids. Like, I helped all my kids get into. They're over in Paradise Valley Oasis, like 40th Street and Thunderbird Cactus. Because I was like, hey. I've always lived on the east side. I went to Shadow Mountain there right at 32nd and Shea.
I know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, so and then I went over to Grand Canyon, played basketball over there, and then but I was like, hey, this 3% money isn't gonna last. So let's I mean, they were young, they were just coming out of college. I'm like, hey, let's get some houses, and so they all live right there at that 40th Street and Cactus area.
Nice area. Love the area. Yeah. Shadow Mountain's known for Bibby.
Yeah.
Bibby.
Yeah.
And in Grand Canyon University's, you know, you were going there, you know, it's, how long has it been? 20, 30 years now?
Yeah, no.
Like 30 years.
Yeah, 93, 94.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I remember it was really small.
Yeah, it's big now.
And they grew the online schooling was like number one online in the world, or something like that at one point, right?
Well, that's how, I mean, obviously they grew so fast because you can have a campus only so big, but if you go online,
they killed it online.
Yeah, your customer can be anywhere. They can be, you know, New York.
And then they've just been building for 20 years straight, like nonstop.
Yeah, buying up stuff.
Buying up everything. Golf courses, hotels, everything.
Yeah.
They're doing really well. My daughter just graduated from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was really cool. You know, she's like, I would say, I haven't talked to a lot of my family members recently, but like immediate family members, she's the first one to graduate from college.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So we're all just a bunch of jackasses. No, just kidding. But no, I was super proud of her. You know? Yeah. And she was going to ASU. And my other daughter, Gigi, started going to Grand Canyon University, a freshman, you know?
Yeah.
So then Lena's like, I'll transfer over and go with her. And so she did like the Colangelo Business School and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm super proud.
Really, it's just college is just that transition from 18 when you're not really ready to go to 22 when you're finally getting ready to go.
That's what it is. That's how, because they don't learn nothing really that great unless you're a doctor or a lawyer or something or whatever. It's let's keep them occupied. Let's keep them learning a little bit. Let's keep them out of trouble. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it. And she has learned, but she learns, she works here, she's downstairs. She learns way more here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Learn how to show up on time, learn how to create a project, finish a project.
Yeah. Which are good things because I only went to 8th grade. I didn't learn all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to create and learn, and like I'm doing a study right now and I had to read like 4 pages just to teach me how to study.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what to look for, how to memorize and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, I really suck. Yeah.
Well, you know, we all have different skill sets, right? Like my skill set is as a math major and a computer science major, right?
Yeah.
So my English is terrible. So, I mean, I'm probably the biggest user of AI on the planet because I can just type out something and go click.
Tell me what to say. Yeah. It's so
I
good.
can misspell it. I can use the wrong grammar. I can do it all, and it just click and poof. Oh, look at me. I'm good.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, it's good, though, right? It still shows that you're being professional.
Yeah.
Rather than sending out a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, let me get this tightened up, and I got this new tool, this new buddy.
Yeah.
Chat, you know? So, born and raised Phoenix, Arizona. You're 53. You went to Shadow Mountain, Grand Canyon University. Like, what side of town did you... So you were born and raised right there, like in that area. That's where you grew up. That's where you were raised. That's grade school, everything.
My mom kind of moved us around. My mom... So I don't know. I was K through 12. I don't know. 12 schools.
Oh, that was like me early on.
I mean, I was... Boom. So I lived in Maryvale. I lived at... 51st and Indian School. I lived at 43rd Avenue in Bethany. I lived out in Mesa. I lived in Ahwatukee.
Damn, you guys moved everywhere.
Yeah,
not just one area.
Yeah, I know this town.
That's crazy.
I didn't settle down to 32nd. 32nd and Shea. I moved there as a sophomore. And I spent sophomore, junior, senior there. And then,
so your early years, you guys are bouncing around.
Yeah.
So. Was it a single household or both parents?
No, my parents got divorced when I was 4 or 5.
So your mom was doing what? You were with your mom?
Yeah, just kind of.
She was surviving.
Yeah, just bouncing around,
Yeah.
and so I 7th Street and Bell Road. Like I've Moon Valley.
Yeah, you were everywhere. I grew up in a Maryville area. But like early on, I bounced around.
Yeah.
You know, a lot. Like just like yourself, and then finally we settled down in Maryville and lived a bad life over there.
I was up in was Sevilla. You know where Sevilla is? Elementary. It's like 43rd Avenue, Bethany. That's where I went.
Yeah,
4th grade year.
Yeah. I was in the Cartwright School District.
Yeah.
It was rough. I mean, I'll be 44, so you're a little older.
Yeah.
But you know, it was rough. You know, West Phoenix and stuff. There was a lot of gangs back then and all that stuff, right? You know, so you were running around all the cholos and stuff. I'm just kidding. You're little.
Yeah. No, what was great is like because I played basketball. I mean, I'd travel all around this city to play whatever open gym.
Were you good?
Yeah. Played the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah. Okay. You didn't say that. You're tall, definitely 6'7".
Yeah, 6'7".
Yeah, and when you came in, I was like, man, he's tall.
Yeah.
Because on camera, you can't see how tall you are. You know what I mean?
So I played at Glendale Community College before I went over to Grand Canyon. And I mean, we were still Division II then, but I mean, we were top 25 in the country.
Yeah. What position?
Forward, small
forward,
small and big forward. Yeah.
What's crazy is you're a big guy and you're playing a small position.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it is.
We had, still back then we had some 6'10", 6'11" guys on our team. Like,
some big boys.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm big, but these guys are towering me. Yeah. That's cool though, because like the fact that you moved around, you've seen different things probably, I would think, right?
Yeah. No, that's what helps in real estate, right? I know this town like the back of my hand, right?
Yeah.
So
you're like, I was here when I was 4. I was here when I was 7. But it helps though, like you said, is these experiences in life, they help us. Like most people think like bad experience or a not so great experience is like a detriment and like end all be all, and they start blaming their parents and all this crap. You know what I mean? It's like, and you're like, no, I was able to utilize these things.
Yeah. No, I look at things as like when you go across challenges or something like that, you learn more from the challenges than I think you do from the successes, right? I mean, if you've heard that statement, I think that's 100% true. Like bouncing around and not having, all the stuff that everybody else did. Like, I think it made me work harder, not wanting to fail. I use those items to push me harder, not like make excuses.
Yeah, I think, like you said, is learning more from the challenges is you take where you messed up, where you lost, and say, okay, well, how can I fix it? How can I make that right? And because I think sometimes we see people and like people like the audience, whoever's watching, or even myself or whatever. You look at people online on social media, and you think they're perfect, right? And some people are just cruising, like they're killing it, right? Yeah. It was like perfect, like everything lined up, right? But then when the challenge comes, how do they handle it?
Yeah.
That's where the character comes alive, and who's who and what's what, and like yourself saying, like, I've been through this. It's kind of like I'm a man of God, right? Yeah. It's like when in the Bible, I don't know if you know about the Bible, when David was like, I killed the bear, I killed the lion. I always say lions, tigers, and bears.
Yeah.
But he looked back on his past wins, and for us, the challenges, they become it's a loss, but you can look back at the loss as well and say, okay, I don't want to lose again here, not right now, right?
Yeah. No, obviously, I was younger, pre-downturn. I was, $100 million out at 18%. You can do the math on that. It's a lot of money.
A lot of money, bro.
And I was running around, thought I was king of the world, all that stuff. And, so obviously losing all that money, having to start over, all that pretty humbling experience. So, now I'm partners with my sister and brother-in-law, but
nice.
Like, we keep it real. We're just like, no, everybody's doing this and they're crushing it. I'm like, I'm good right here.
Well, you guys know what you're doing. You know what you want. You know what you, like you said, you're like, I just got to get 30 houses.
Yeah.
That's the minimum. That's what I need. I got a goal. You start changing it up, you can start getting in trouble because now you're losing your focus.
Yep. Shiny object
syndrome. Everybody does it, right? They start going here, boom, 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 boom. I talk to a lot of young kids, and they'll ask me they always ask me about the business, our business, or like how you got big, or what, all these questions. And then I'll say, well, what are you doing? I'm selling this and I'm selling that. I'm selling this and I'm getting into that. And I got this course. I'm like, dude, that's like 17 things.
Yeah.
Let's just start with one. Which one do you like the most? Which one do you think you can be good at?
Right.
Get good at that, and then maybe look at another one or two after, but kill it first.
Yeah.
Make some money, pay your bills, get you, some, your own home and your own car or whatever.
You can't have multiple streams of income until you get the first one.
Yeah, man. And so many still think like, I got to have 5 streams and 7 streams. But it's like,
Got to get the first one first.
Bro, like a drip of water is not a stream. You know what I mean? Like you said, you get that first one. That's where we're at. Like we were able to get this first one. We've been doing this for a while, been in business for a while. And now I can look at, okay, what else can I do? The first one, when you get good, you make a little money, you get a little success. It's time, if you want, right? But yeah, too many people they're just off. They're just, like you said, it's shiny object. That guy's doing, especially in real estate. I see it in real estate all the time. Pace Morby's killing it sub 2. Let me go sub 2. This guy's killing it wholesaling. Chris killing it wholesaling. This guy's doing fix and flips. Ryan Pineda. And it's like, just pick one. There's a reason why you're successful And that guy's successful, and that guy's successful because they're really only doing one. They say they're doing other things, but they're really only doing one.
Yeah. Well, you get that first system, and then you build out your team, and then you have time to go build the second one and the third one.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're just a solopreneur and you're doing it all into yourself, then you're just hustling. Then you got to build out the systems and the team, and then you can figure out the next step.
Yeah. In the construction space, what we like to do is offer different services, Yeah. And so I came up in commercial drywall when, I started when I was 17, and then, but about six years ago, I think, or 7 years ago, we added painting.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. I got really good. I was pretty good.
Well,
right?
you're already talking to the customer, right?
I'm already talking to the customer.
And the next step right behind the drywall is the paint. Yeah.
And so now we'll offer like ceilings, insulation, like all these things because we're already good at one. Like this is, this is the money maker here. And now we can boom, add on all these same thing. That's when you get into other little, in real estate or whatever it is. But it all ties together, you know? And if you're going to change, I think if you're going to change industries, you better have killed it in your industry and be ready to be done with it.
Yep.
Don't do two different industries at the same time. It's very hard, unless you're successful, right? But if you're not, two different industries is very, very hard.
Yeah, I have my rentals and stuff like that, but I just sell the house and then I finance the house. Oh, you need some hard money?
Yeah. No, that's a win. It's a package.
Yeah.
Like here's the money and here's the house. It's mine.
The customer is right here. I got him.
Yeah.
I just got it. Why don't I just add this to it?
Yeah, and your job is just to go get the asset.
Yeah, I just go find the deal.
Yeah. What do you call it? Do you call it deal? Do you call it asset? What do you call it?
So it's just a funnel, right? We do our marketing, comes into a lead.
Yeah.
We get the property, and then we dispo the property. Yeah. That's it.
And dispo, you mean disposition?
Yeah, sell it.
Yeah. The first time I heard that word, I was like, "What the hell does that mean?"
Yeah, just disposition.
Yeah, it's a short name.
Yeah, just sell the property.
Sell the property.
Yeah.
And so, like, is that hard for someone to do? Is someone that says, you know what, I do want to get into that. I've been watching you, Chris, for a while. Like, are you selling courses? Are you teaching people? Or are you kind of what do you?
Yeah, I sell. I do. Like, I got a 3-day class coming up this Friday. I don't actually charge for it. It's free. It's a 3-day class. But you get the people that are. It's same thing. Everybody, this whole scarcity mindset. They're like, I just give them. I give them the whole blueprint of my business.
Yeah.
But you know how many people actually take action? I can teach 100 people. You know how many people are going to actually do something?
5.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I do offer some one-on-one coaching. So like I'll throw out, like I'm at the McCormick this weekend. I'll have 80 to 100 people there.
Okay.
They'll spend all weekend. But 2 or 3 of them actually will want to make a business.
Yeah.
Because, so you either got time or you got money. Mm-hmm. So if you have time, you can go to this business. You can do it as a side hustle, but you're going to be door knocking, cold calling, whatever, doing some agent outreach, whatever.
Yeah, you got to get the leads. You got to get it. You got to get it.
And then, or you pay for the leads. So those are your...
So the money, starting out in say a real estate game or any kind of sales game with a little bit of cash helps you get a little further ahead faster. Yeah. Right.
Because you can do inbound leads where the people are calling you, but then you're paying for marketing.
Yeah.
Like an inbound lead for like a PPC will cost me $300. That's that.
What's
lead,
a PPC?
Pay per click.
Google, okay.
Google. So that lead cost me $300, and it takes me maybe 10 to 12 leads to convert a deal. So that house that I get under contract cost me $3,000. Now, my wholesale fee is around $17,000. 17.
It's no
5x.
Yeah, no brainer.
But
no brainer.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had it if you didn't spend it. Why do you think like certain people, going back to the training and stuff like that they go to these courses and all these conferences and all this stuff and they do nothing with it? Is it a mindset thing? What?
100%. Like, I mean, let's talk about this podcast room for a second. Okay. You decided like, hey, I'm going to build a podcast, right?
Yeah.
How many people out there would have probably like, I'm going to pick this room, and they would have painted the walls and bought a mic.
Yeah.
Might have did 1 or 2. And then the equipment sits there, right?
Yeah.
You got to be consistent about anything. It's like, someone did that where you drop the basketball off the second story of the building. And it hits the ground. It takes a real big leap and then goes and then a little leap, and then
Just rolling.
Rolling, right?
Barely, and then it stops.
Yeah. Or you could dribble the basketball. It's not as impressive off the second story, but if you do it every single day. So it's just like any student, I'm like, hey, it's just consistency. Like if you say you're gonna go door knock from 9 to 11:30 every day, go door knock.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're sick, go door knock. Like Monday through Saturday. Like I'm in there. So if you keep talking to people, number one, you get the whole repetition, just like your first podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe a little nervous.
Oh, it sucked the first 10. They still suck. Are you kidding?
I mean, but how many podcasts have you done?
I don't know, 40 or something.
Yeah, so you're making jokes.
Yeah.
The first time you might have been a little sweaty or whatever,
dude,
right?
It's a nervous wreck.
Yeah, so like it's same thing. It's same with talking to sellers and doing the deals. It's just like, the first conversation is going to suck. And the 40th conversation is going to be better. And, it's just same thing, but it's just consistency, mindset, repetition, all that stuff.
Do you use a lot of basketball analogies in your teachings?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm a basketball player.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Like, I'm like, it makes total sense. Like, just dribble the damn ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Quit trying to be freaking globetrotter.
Yeah.
And just dribble the ball, right?
Yeah. Like, you look at all those, like, you look at a basketball player in itself, I give this analogy too. It's like, oh, you're doing all these moves and all this stuff. But yet, when you get fouled, you don't practice. You get a free shot. You get an opportunity to get 2 points to your stats for free with no one guarding you. How come you're not shooting 100 free throws a day? Like,
get those points, right?
Like if you go to the free throw line and you go to the free throw line 6 times and you can get that, it's the same shot every single time. If you can get to 90%, guess what? You're going to get 5.2 points every game off the free throw line. Yeah. If you're at 50%, you're only getting 3 points.
So you could like correlate that to say like a referral. A referral is kind of a free lead.
Yep.
And if you ain't practicing to lock in that referral with a nice sales pitch or whatever, you just wasted free money.
Yeah, free money.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Would that correlate? That would.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What else could we say with that? I love your analogies, bro. Basketball.
No, it's just like I don't know. People can do this stuff. They gotta have something that's motivating them, or a mindset that's motivating them. That's more than just like the Ferrari on Instagram, right? Yeah. There's got to be a little bit more there, right? Yeah. There's got to be, like, when I got, I have a little backstory. I came out of college, math, computer science as an IT guy. I got laid off twice. That's no fun. I don't know if you've been. Here's your 2-week check. Have a nice life. See ya. Like, that's no fun, right? Yeah. And that was kind of I didn't have this, I'm going to go build my wealth and all that. I was like, here's the door twice in a year.
Yeah, you're just like, I got to get another job.
So I ended up getting my real estate license because I thought I was going to have to sell my house, and I'd rather save the commission. Yeah. I'll go take a class for $500 than pay some guy,
$3,000 or whatever it is.
It was like, it was a $250,000 house. So it was like, I don't want to pay $7,500. I'll just go take the class for $500, right? Yep. So that's how I ended up. And then I was like, this real estate thing's all right. And then, and everybody wants, I started learning the foreclosure. I got laid off in like July. I started going to just watching the foreclosures in like August. I didn't buy my first house till December. Everybody just thinks things are going to happen overnight. Yeah. You're not going to go out. You want to go play basketball. You're not going to go pick up the basketball and start shooting 50%. Yeah. You got to practice. You got to learn. You got to dribble,
Was this before the kids were born? Any of the kids?
No, this is like right in the middle when the kids were young. So it was just like, it was a little learning experience, little humbling experience. And then it's just like, all right. So start watching and start learning and figured out the foreclosures. And then I'm like, all right. Once I get my real estate license, I did actually get another job pretty quickly, so I didn't have to sell the house. But I got a listing, sold it, made $9,000, drove this lady around for 5 weekends with her daughter, just to have her call me on the 5th weekend. I was up with my wife's mother's birthday or something, and so they live in Sedona. I was out of town. And she called me like, oh, you were out of town. So I just called the listing agent. He showed me the house. I bought the house. I'm like, I spent 4 weekends with you, driving you around, and I'm out. So I'm like, I just want listings, but I don't want to be the sales guy pitching you in the living room. I didn't want to be there in the living room after you got off work, working from, I've got kids. I don't want to be working from 6 to 8, pitching you in the living room. So I'm like, all right, so how do I get my listings so that people come to me? And then I'm just like, maybe I just buy them, fix them up and sell them. So that's why I started. And then
fix and flip.
I was a fix and flip. And then I was like, this is before all the social media. And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I buy at foreclosures and sell houses. And they're like, no one buys at foreclosures. I'm like, well, I do. I'm like, can you get me one? Sure.
Yeah.
I'll buy you one. Here's 123 Main Street. I bought it for $100,000. Give me 103. And by the way, I want the $3,000 cash.
Yeah. Yeah. I want it up front right now.
And I'll line you up the hard money. And then.
So now you're like, I like the way you said that though, is like, how can I get the customer to come to me?
Yeah.
And you kind of do that now in a sense.
Yeah, no. So supply and demand, got wholesale. Now, obviously I was able to wholesale way before that, and now everybody's a wholesaler, right? We're like Circle K's.
Yeah.
So
I'm a wholesaler, guys. Just kidding.
But it's but you just gotta be better at it, right? Got to practice your trade. You got to get better. You got to adjust.
Yeah.
You got to always be constantly building your buyers list because fix and flipping. I'm sure you've had some friends that have tried some fix and flips that didn't go well, right?
Oh yeah, you hear all the stories.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to take 30 and took 80.
Yeah. As I'm sure, you're a contractor, but you've obviously run a good business, but there's plenty of guys that don't run a good business.
Well, I've lost money. I thought it was 30 and it cost 80,
Yeah.
and on a project, right?
Yeah.
But it happens. Like you said, and without the system, without the practice, without like learning from the mistake or the type of customer, the type of property or whatever, right?
100%.
Dude, I love that. So you got the funding, you got the houses. Which one do you like more?
Well, obviously the housing is kind of like, the fun, the monopoly of it all, right? If you will.
Yeah.
The hard money is the passive income. Once you put the loan out, it's going to stay out there for 5 to 6 months, collect checks.
Yeah.
But I get investors that come to me and like, hey, Chris, because I lend my money like 12 and I just pay my investors 10. And so I'm just making that. I'm a licensed, I'm a licensed banker. But when it gets to millions of dollars, 2 points is like, so at first it was 10, then it was 20, then it was 30. 2 points on 30 million, and it's grown past that. And
yeah, totally.
So, but 2 points on like $50 million is $1 million a year.
Yeah, love it. I love it. Like you said, that's the icing on the cake. That's what. So, like, do you have a big team?
No, there's about 10 of us. Yeah, I have one office manager. She helps with because 2 people need to verify wires, so she does manages all the accounting. We have CPAs and bookkeepers, and she kind of office manager.
Yeah.
And then I have one person that does my loan processing. I have one TC that handles all the real estate transactions, and I have one dispo guy.
What's a TC?
Transaction coordinator.
Oh, transaction coordinator.
Just some communicate with the title company, all that. So, and then we have some acquisition guys, but those are just sales guys. They're commission based guys.
Those guys work for all kinds of people.
Yeah, they just
right. They lock in and So, and that's what you need. So you need those people as well, right?
Yeah. So we have acquisition guys, and so we pay the leads. The leads go to the acquisition guys. They're commission based only. But true people in our office. It's me and my partner. But on salary, I have 5. So
that's good. I
like it lean.
No, that's like what in construction in our space, MySpace.
You had an account back then the day, didn't you?
Oh yeah, totally. I was just talking about that the other day. We're heavy on labor. Not all construction trades are like that, but like drywall specifically in the commercial space, because you have in the commercial drywall world they do metal stud framing.
Yeah.
They do drywall installation and tape and texture, the drywall finish, right?
Yeah.
Those are like 3 separate trades that we have to capture.
Yeah.
We're heavy on labor, so for us to, when I know we're like doing okay, it's when we have like 100 guys and girls, right?
Yeah.
So we've averaged over 100 employees the last 5-6 years. It's heavy on labor. So like when you're telling me, like, I'm kind of jealous, bro. Like, you're like, I got 5 people. I got I got to deal with 100 different 100, 150, 180, depending on, the time of the year.
Yeah.
Different personalities, 5. I think I want it to 5, bro.
Yeah. We run a lean business. It's just, it's nice. And it's, so.
I like it. I think it works for what you're doing though. Like, you don't always need this big overhead. If you're getting a job and, like you said, you created systems, what needs to be done. I think sometimes people think it out too far out. Like, hey, I can't start this because I got to get this and I got to get that and I got to get this, and you're like, I only got 5 people, really.
Yeah.
That to me, I'm like, God, that's nothing.
Oh,
like I can like. No, I'm not like downgrading what you do because you're an expert, but I'm like, God, that's like, I can get the 5 real quick. I just got to get rid of 95.
The one big thing with having the small team is just like, if there is like a medical something that comes up and they're going to be off 2 weeks, like obviously that
you feel it.
That's stress, right?
Yeah. Now you're on the phone call and you're like, Dispo TC.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's good though, because it keeps you as a tight knit. Everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing, right? There's no fluff there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you're supposed to be doing. And there's some overlap. Probably people can do each other's jobs, right?
Yeah.
That way, when they do call in sick or someone's pregnant or whatever it is, I like that, bro. Like, what do you say to people that do want to start a real estate, maybe a wholesaling? Like, what's the biggest challenges you see?
I don't know. Just, I mean, like I said, consistency. Anybody can do this. This is not hard. It's not hard. It's just consistency. And obviously, if you got some money behind you where you can get into the marketing and pay for the marketing, that's easier. I run a podcast with a guy, like I said, every Tuesday at 2:00, and the guy that I'm on there with, he's younger than me. He's funny. He's pretty loud. He says he's loud out there on social media. He'll go do a video to get a lot of views and be wearing like overalls with no shirt or whatever.
Is he buff?
Yeah, he's pretty swole. He's pretty good shape, but he's like, I would never go get out on social media.
Yeah.
But, so I brought him on because I think it's fun because the banter is good and everything. But like, he just started as a cold caller working from somebody else. Like, all he did was he was dialing for dollars, as he started. Well, before he was just wholesaling stuff on OfferUp, like stuff like that. He was just,
What do you mean, like just items and stuff?
Yeah, just getting items and
tables, refrigerators, whatever.
Yeah. And so, I mean, he had some hustle in him, but then he started cold calling, and now he wholesales. He's got his team. He and his partner have 40 Airbnbs.
Nice.
He and his wife have another, like, I want to say 12 or 13. I mean, and he's in his 30s, and he's developing a 12 unit in Sedona. I mean, he's out there.
So this guy's local.
Yeah, he's in Gilbert. He's out running and gunning, but I mean, he literally 7 years ago was a cold caller.
Yeah. And do you think you've had a big part of like mentoring him?
Yeah, a little. I mean, he had Brent Daniels. I don't know if you know who Brent Daniels. He's a local real estate guy too, but he was a cold caller for Brent, and Brent's does some education stuff too, and he's a pretty cool guy. And so anyway, so Luke started with him, and then as he, and I was buying Brent's houses, but then as they, as people develop in their life's journey, right?
Yeah.
He was able to step away. There was no hard feelings there. They're still buddies. He did it the right way. He didn't like, I'm going to try to take all your customers. I've had people like that.
Yeah, I have had several people like that.
They stepped away in the right way. He's like, I'm going to go do this on my own, whatever. Good for you, whatever. Didn't try to just, so that relationship, when Luke went out and started getting his own deals, he'd bring them to me. I'd help him sell them. Nice. And then, and then he's like, I still sell some. He still sells. Now he sells something on his own, and like he's even moved past me. But it's fun. It's just watching that. But in 7 years, from just being a cold caller to having 40 houses.
Yeah. And what you're saying is like all you have to do is get started.
Yeah.
Just make the calls.
Just
make the calls.
Talk to the people.
It's kind of like I started this health journey, and so I hired a young man to help me, like train me. 3 days a week I'm with him, and I had it's hard. and I feel like when it gets easy, he makes it harder on purpose.
Yeah.
But that's his job, right?
Yeah.
But like you're saying is like, I have to think in my mind, I got to keep doing this. I can't stop doing this or else I'm going to gain 20 pounds back. I'm going to, I got like 25, 30 pounds more to lose, if I want my youth back, my energy back, I got to keep making that sacrifice. Like you said, just knock from 4 hours a day or 6 hours a day or whatever. Too many people won't do it.
Yeah. Or just like, as part of your health journey is like, do I eat the cookie or not eat the cookie?
I know, dude. And here, it's hard because I've been really good, like not doing it, once in a while, if they make something homemade here, I'll try it. But I'm like 1, not 7. Before it's like 7 cookies, 3 cupcakes, and
he offered me the donuts. I said no.
I didn't eat them. I don't even know where they came from. But there's always every day there's like donuts, bagels, cookies, cupcakes. Like every day it's like a feast down there. And so now I buy these pre-made meals and I just eat 2 a day, and I'm like, I'm not touching the donut, guys. So bringing the freaking donuts, but they can eat the donuts.
And in the same thing, I'm just gonna ask a question, but before you started this journey, you probably, I'm just assuming, you probably did a 2-week here on a diet or whatever, a month here, a 3-week here, and then you did it, and then you go back to your same old habits or whatever, or your same old routine. Yeah. You actually have to change the routine, right?
Yeah, I think it starts with making a complete, honest decision with yourself. It was the same thing. Like this health journey, I was on drugs for, like I tell people, 10 years straight, and the same thing when I was trying to quit drugs. I would quit for 1 week, quit for 2 weeks, go back, quit. So it's the same thing. So I understand what it is, and you're exactly right. Like on the health journey, I was trying it, and then I was like, and what happened was I had my back started hurting really bad and it started spasming and all kinds of stuff. And then so I had 2 herniated discs, like slip disc. Yeah. And it would like I don't know if you've ever had that happen, but like your nerves, you can't feel your legs. And then like, there's like a tingling down your legs that hurts really bad. And then my back would just like lock up all the muscles. And I would just like in pain. And so I was like, I went to like a sports therapy chiropractor for like 6 months. Yeah. And then after that, towards the end of that, I told myself, this young man kept telling me, Chris, I'll get you in shape. Just let me. And I'm so like, I wasn't confident in that world, like getting fit and stuff, because I got weak and fat and all these things. And I'm still weak and fat, but I'm getting better. But it was like, okay, I got to do this. And I had to find my why. To dig deep, I had to find my why. You know what I mean? And I think for entrepreneurs or people who are trying to be entrepreneurs or in that journey of that next level is we need to find our why. You know what I mean? Because like you said, it can't just be the Ferrari. Yeah. It can't be the flash and the bling and the shiny object. It's got to be like, what's that true why? I think that's why I asked you, were the kids, because you had a family you had to take care of. Yeah.
It's when you lose your job and there's like 3 little ones at home.
You gotta feed.
You don't have there is no choice, right?
Yeah, you gotta go, and then you gotta make the decision. Like, I can't go back. I can't. And then it starts to feel good. Yeah. Like I'm getting some wins here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I just ran the mountain. I haven't been on a damn mountain for like 20 years. Yeah. Like
which one did you do?
It's a small one, bro. I don't even want to tell you because it's so embarrassing. But I conquered it. No. It's called Thunderbird Mountain.
Yeah, I know it.
And so, but we went and like it was like a 3-mile low journey. Not a lot compared to some of these other dudes. Like I'm not trying to say I'm the mountain climbing guy. Yeah. But it was cool because I basically ran 2 miles of running through it, and then hiked 1 mile where it got hard. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, man, this feels good. Like I did this. So now it's when the why was, I have to do this. I have to stay healthy. I have to live longer. I have to work harder. I have to be more. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, obviously, I mean, my why was obviously like, you have like when you get in, you're younger, but and maybe you've seen some stuff already, but you get into 50s, you start seeing people drop off like, what do you mean he just passed away? It's just like, so it's like, it's time to get serious. I had another buddy that just had a like heart surgery, and like he was stressed out from work and stressed out from having too many drinks maybe, and you just a lot of stress, alcohol, a little overweight, and just like, what do you mean he's in the hospital? We were just out last night. It's just like, you got to take this stuff seriously. I mean, I broke my leg in wakeboarding at 31, so I do the 3 gym, but I walk 12,000 steps a day.
That's good. How do you do that? Because my buddy down the street from me is super fit. He lives right by me. Like, dude's jacked. Yeah. Really fit. Not just buff, like he's really fit. And he's like, Chris, you got to work 10,000 steps at least. I'm like, how do I do that? So how do you walk 12,000 steps a day? Like, I do my treadmill. I do like 2,000 in the morning. Yeah. Right after, or it's running, or I do like a mile in the morning, either running or walking. But how do you do 12,000?
Well, so I was up at, I left the house at 5:30 this morning. I live by Kierland. I got this little route that goes through the West End. I go through the golf course. It's nice and scenic. I listen to my podcast, and I got back at 5:30. I got back
7.
I had a call at 7, so I was home at 6:40. So hour and 15 minutes, and I'd done just over. I probably did 4.4 miles this morning.
So you're
I'm at 9,000 steps before I even start my day.
Yeah. So hour and 15. Yeah, that makes about right. 15 minutes a mile, somewhere in that road. Yeah.
It's I bounce between. I do it every day, so I know I'm like right at 16, 30 a mile.
And you're just a nice pace walk.
Yeah, just a little brisk walk, nothing crazy. Yeah. So, and it's brisk. So honestly, I'm 16:30 a mile to my Starbucks.
Your end game. It's the end game, right?
And Starbucks is about mile 3. And then I'm about a 17 and a half minute.
Are you west of Kierland or east of Kierland?
I'm west. Yeah.
Okay, I know where you're at. Yeah. So right down Greenway?
Yeah. So that Starbucks at Kierland is where I pick up after my 3 mile. So I grab that. And then my last little mile home, I'm more like a 17 and a half, 18-minute pace, because now I'm starting.
You're cruising.
I'm calling people.
You're drinking a Starbucks. But that's like a cool down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I did 3 miles. I get my Starbucks. I cruise back home, and then my first call was at 7. So I know I was back home by 6:45 because I had a call at 7.
Yeah. Yeah. My in-laws live right there. They're like right, just north of the quarter.
Yeah.
There's like some luxury apartments. They live in apartments.
Yeah.
So we're over there a lot in that area and stuff. I love the area.
I walked all my restaurants. It's great.
Yeah.
Except in the summer. Yeah.
There's totally a lot to do over there.
Yeah.
It's a good area. I love the area. The health fit, there was an older gentleman that came in today, right before you came, and he's a salesman, and he's retiring, right? And I didn't mean to be rude to him, but I was like, I don't know how old he is, but he's old. He looks old. I don't want to insult him and say but he's probably late 70s.
Yeah.
And I think he got taken back for what I said. And I was like, what are you going to do? Because you better do something or you're just going to sit there and die.
Yeah.
But he's always said, I like your honesty, Chris. But I'm like, dude, you got to stay active. Yeah. Have you joined a gym or done? You got to walk. You got to like get the brain pumping, or else you're going to get dementia and all kinds of crazy stuff. You have to stay active, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, 12,000. I got to figure out.
That's like my year-to-date average daily is 12,200. Like it's. And I went on a trip with my dad, to the British Virgin Islands, and so when you're on a boat, I was getting like 3,000 and 4,000 steps a day.
So big ship, cruise ship?
No, we just rented a catamaran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I had a 3,600 step day and a 6.
The boat? How big is the boat? 100-footer? What is that?
No, it's like a 50-foot catamaran.
Yeah.
But it has 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. My sister and my business partner was with me, and so. But we're walking the islands, but I'm not getting my 4 mile in the morning that I'm used to getting. So, like right now, I'm trying to make up for those because I want to keep my average. I want to keep my 12,000 average.
Yeah, man, I love that. So I got to step up my game. I'm trying to add like weights and stuff in it, but I definitely get the 1 mile in, which is like 2,000 steps or something like that. But yeah, his buddy, his name's Brandon. He's like, Chris, you got to hit 10,000 steps at least.
Yeah, just so I don't know how much you move around the office, just figure what that looks like. And then if you got to get 2 miles in, you're only talking an extra 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15, yeah. You can get 15 minutes in your day get to 2 miles.
Let's see what I got. So we got, let me see can I see an average on my watch for the week? So today is, I'm at 4,465 steps.
Yeah, I'm at 9,479.
So you're double. Jesus. My run this morning was 1.49 miles. So I've only walked like another half a mile here. from the office back to the break room, back to my office.
Yeah, so just figure out what your office looks like, and then you're already doing the 1 mile.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you 15 extra minutes, like 15 minutes. Like you can't give yourself 15 minutes
For the second mile.
to the second mile.
Yeah.
To get the 10,000. Yeah.
I can.
It's just like those little changes, right?
Maybe I'll start walking out here, but it's hot as hell. Maybe I'll.
You gotta get up earlier.
No. The morning's fine. I'm trying to figure out how to stay active when I'm here.
Yeah.
That's the thing, so I'll tell you my routine in the morning is I'll jump in the treadmill. If I feel good, I'll just run the mile.
Yeah.
If like my knee hurts or something's hurting, I'll kind of walk or something, or walk fast. Then I'll jump into like a small weight routine, and so I'm about 45 minutes. When I'm with the trainer, it's like retardedly insane for me.
Yeah.
That's a whole different ball game. I still do the mile. So maybe what I'll do is do 2 miles. I'll start with 2 miles on treadmill, because I feel like I'm working out less anyways when he's not there, because I'm cheating.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll change it to run a little bit more, walk a little bit more, and then add that other, because I could probably get 2 miles in real quick.
Yeah.
30 minutes, boom, do a small 30-minute weight routine. Man, thank you. If there was anything about this podcast, it was this right now for my health. So no, that's cool. I like learning about all this stuff and talking like fitness, like my journey that I'm on now. I like to hear when people's journeys they've already done, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I still hit the weight room 2 to 3 times a week, but I've been going to a boot camp for, I don't know, 12 years, and it's Monday, Wednesday at 6 a.m. So it was just like, all right, I got to get the walking in before. So now.
So you go to the boot camp too?
Yeah.
So that's what are you doing over there?
So I do. So Monday's chest and back, Wednesday's legs, Friday is shoulders and arms, and then Fridays we do 10 minutes of abs.
Yeah. So when Dominic comes, it's like a boot camp.
Yeah.
I'll do like 4 different sets, like 4 sets of 4 different things, then move to like 4 different things, and next thing you know, I did like 300 squats, and I feel like jelly legs, or 200 push-ups, and I don't even know how I did it.
Yeah. So we do 3. He has everybody do 3. I like to maintain a little bit more mass, so he usually has people do 3 sets of 20. So if you're doing bench press, 3 sets of 20, but then you'll go from the bench to the fly. So a set, 20-second break, set, 20-second break, set, 20. So you're actually getting the cardio up during the same time. I do it differently. I do a set of 20, I do a set of 15, I do a set of 12, and I'll just keep moving up the weight because I want to
bulk up. Yeah, keep the bulk. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what I do 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Is like, well, actually, I'm down to 2, because now the third day is running. It's been a month, so I'm lying. So this past Saturday was the actual mountain. 3 weeks prior, like 3 weekends in a row, was running up a mountain, but it was paved.
Yeah, the 7th Street one. Was it the one on 7th Street or no?
No, the paved. It's on 101. It's North Phoenix. But I didn't call that like a mountain hike climb, trail. Yeah, it's hard because it's steep. But so I'm really 2 days a week with my kind
trainer.
Yeah. But it's freaking good, dude. I love it. I'm starting to like it. Okay, so what do you think? Like, are you? I know you're big in business. Do you pay attention to anything that's going on, like in the world and news? And do you pay attention to any of that stuff?
I mean, for the most part, I kind of have a hard time with all the different news agencies, because I just kind of feel like they give you what they want you to hear. So I do a balance between it, but obviously I keep track of what's going on in the economy, because the economy is going to affect real estate. So I keep track of what the 10-year is doing, because that's going to...
The Treasury. He's talking about the 10-year Treasury, guys.
Yeah, so that's going to influence the mortgage rates. The mortgage rates are going to influence real estate volume. So, I mean, I watch all that. Obviously, I watch inflation reports, because I know how the inflation reports are going to affect everything. I keep track of like jobs, and so I watch the Economist stuff.
Are you worried about like interest rates and stuff like that? Are you like a guy that wants them to be cut or wants them to hold?
I don't really care. I just want to know. Definitely, I will put out what I think's happening in the market all the time on my Instagram account.
Yeah. So what do you think's happening?
So I mean, we're in a. So first of all, we're in a election year.
Yeah,
If you watch election years for, history,
It's the same thing.
It's always slower. Everybody's like on a pause.
Yep.
So you got interest rates up, you got affordability issues and interest rates up. So really, I mean, I said it on Instagram like a week ago. I'm like, you're going to see the least amount of transactions in real estate in 20 years this year. So,
and you can kind of see the trend.
Yeah.
I get foreclosure listings. We talk about foreclosures, and I was like, maybe I should do a foreclosure. So I get all the listings, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing more
and more
and more and more.
And you're seeing some of the jobs, you're seeing some layoffs coming.
Yep.
But once again, back to that whole news thing is like, the jobs reports they play with them, right?
Depends who it's telling it.
Exactly.
Who's reporting? What agency? Where'd you get your facts from? The data? Where'd it come from?
You're watching people get, people in the market and your friends, and you're like, yeah, I got laid off, whatever. And you're like, friends are getting laid off, and you're just like, oh, our jobs went up. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't watch that stuff because I know they kind of fudge the numbers. I kind of watch. I more read the data myself instead of listen to their, because I don't believe them. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you got to know where the source is. Like, who's feeding you the information,
right?
And cross-reference it.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like, even when we get into like political type news and stuff like that, I'm like, I even cross-reference it.
Yeah.
Like, is this person really this way? Let me go see. Oh shit, he is.
Yeah.
What does that policy do? Oh, you know what? It's good. Oh shoot, that's bad. And if you don't cross-reference what it is, you're only going to be biased to one side or one thing or one ideology, whatever it is. Without actually getting, like, let's figure out the facts.
Yeah.
And then you can figure, like you said, is okay. Well, what's going on? Well, this guy says, it's the greatest economy ever, but this is really slowing down over here, and the result of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What about like political views, like news and stuff like that? Are you paying attention to any political things going on?
Well, obviously I pay attention, but I try to filter the information that comes in, like, obviously the stuff going on in Israel and all that kind of stuff. But, once again, everybody's like, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a little history lesson before I actually decide, because someone asked me my opinion, and I'm like, honestly, I don't want to give you my opinion because I don't think I have enough information to give my opinion.
Yeah.
So then I actually did a little research, and then I'm just like, you realize that this part of the world's been at war
forever.
Do you know the Roman Empire used to control that in like just after AD? I mean, the Roman Empire had that whole section, and then you've had Iran have two big empires control that whole area a couple times, like at 700 AD, and then like at 11.
The Chinese ruled it.
Yeah.
The Russians ruled it.
Yeah, it's like this part of the world has been at war forever. Forever. So like I'm kind of looking at the history of it all, and like I'm listening to the news reports and all this stuff, and I'm just like And then obviously the it's a battle, and you look at what happened in World War II, and what happened to the Jews and everything, and then they kind of, they were Germany and all that, and they kind of shipped them over to this part of the world, and and they were really in Europe, and so it's kind of, it's a battle for territory that I don't ever think is going. It's
never going to end.
It's never going to.
All the marching and protesting for Palestine and all this crazy stuff, that's not going to do anything for anyone. It's not. It's people are dying, like kids and stuff like that, but it's not going to end.
But so it's just funny because it's focused out here, and I don't know. Have you ever watched the movie Black Hawk Down? Right?
Oh yeah.
Right. People are dying in Somalia. Like
they're everywhere.
Everywhere. Like,
everywhere. They don't talk about all the little wars that we're all involved in, and all these other countries that are killing their own people. And
if you look at when Black Hawk Down, I forgot. I don't remember my stats from because I read into that. Hundreds of thousands of people were killed there too. Like it's just so it's just it's a bad world, and that's why to your point, like I do, I'm not good at saying prayers. The only thing I do Florida and Arizona, so I'm on a plane every week. So the only time I actually say a prayer is when I'm taking off.
Okay, maybe you should say more. Your family don't go to church or nothing?
No, I don't. I was raised Catholic, and I went more non-denominational Christian.
That's what we are.
Because I don't really like the whole works.
The rules.
Yeah,
bro, the rules.
The works.
People are Christians because they don't want rules. That's the truth.
So yeah, I didn't like the whole works part of it. So yeah, it's just. But when I'm on my second marriage. My first marriage was like born again Christian. So I was like, I was deep. I was at Bible study 3 times a week, and so. I try to live a balanced life.
Yeah, I think if there's a God.
Yeah.
If you know those principles, it's living by the principles. It's not necessarily preaching freaking to the world.
Yeah.
Some people are good at it and they should be doing it.
Yeah.
But if you live the principles, then you'll live a good life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, it's crazy. Yeah, because there's so many wars and things like that that's happening now. That's been happening. That stuff is not going to end. All of it's never going to end. It's a tit for tat all the time, and you have to know what the purpose is and like what's the why. Like, well, he hit me, so I'm gonna hit him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where it comes from. But then there's always collateral damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's collateral damage.
Yeah.
And that's I guess that's what half the people don't want is the collateral damage. But you got to kind of look at like, oh well, why are we even here? You know, why are we even here? What about, are you paying attention like Ukraine, Russia?
Yeah, so obviously you get notice you're not even seeing the news on that stuff anymore, right?
I know.
It's still going on, and
but they don't want to talk about all the money they give Ukraine, bro.
Yeah.
That's why you're not seeing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're giving money to everybody. They're giving Ukraine money. They're giving Israel money. They're even giving Gaza money. I mean, they're giving everybody. They're giving everybody's money. But then they
give Iran money.
Yeah. And they're still here. They are spending, and our deficits hit the highest spot. And like sooner or later, the economic system breaks. So
sooner or later, like the Chinese are just gonna own us.
Yeah. So there's the whole, it's an interesting world. It's definitely. So you either got to go with raise the taxes.
Yeah.
You either got to bring more cash in. This is just business, right?
It's business. It's just business.
You got 2 choices: either raise the taxes or you cut the spending.
Yeah. You know what I would always say is, I said this for years, and I would always say, I don't know why America just doesn't do stuff in Mexico, right? It's a cheaper labor, put some warehouses, distribution, manufacturing, all that stuff, right? Well, we never did it.
Yeah.
And now the Chinese are doing it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's a no-brainer. It's business, right? Is exactly what you said. It's a transaction. Everything's transactional. It's got to be a win-win. I feel like for America, it's always a win-loss, and we're the ones losing.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it's the people who live here. It's you and I who lose. You know what I mean? Because we start paying taxes for a bunch of stupid stuff.
Yeah, dumb stuff.
Like free college and all kinds of crazy stuff.
People walking across the border just like in thousands.
Then you got to house them and pay for them to eat and give them
medical
credit cards, everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we're the ones that have to pay for it, right? I remember we were doing this an outreach. We do a lot of outreach stuff, like give homeless and all this stuff. And so I was talking to this lady. She was at the park. She wasn't homeless, but she started talking about giving and all that stuff, and we got on the subject of college, and I was telling her, like I have a couple kids in Grand Canyon, and she had a kid in somewhere I forgot, and she was really pissed that they were holding the money and they weren't going to pay the debt. You remember when it kind of got froze? Like Biden was on the hook, and he had to freeze it to make everyone happy and stuff. And she was really mad, like her whole demeanor just changed. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This lady's crazy. But I was like, listen, I go, you're really upset, like your daughter's not getting her debt cut. And I go, should I be upset because I had to pay for my kids, because I have to pay for them to go to college? Should I be upset at you for getting it for free? So I started telling her, I go, like, I go, just because I work a little harder, I go, don't take this offensively. I go, I work a little harder than some people, and now I have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
I go, should I be upset? I go, not only do I have to pay for my kids to go to college, but I have to pay for your damn kid to go to college.
Yep.
I go, should I be upset? I go, yeah, I get you're upset. I go, but should I be upset? I go, because ain't nobody doing nothing free for me.
Yeah.
And they haven't for the forever, for never. I got a divorce, and I was a single dad with 3 kids.
Yeah.
And the 3 oldest, and my wife and myself have 1 together.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 at the house. And it was so hard. Like it was like about a year and a half. I was a single dad. The hardest thing I ever did, right? I couldn't get free childcare. I couldn't get food stamps. They wouldn't even give me the access. I had to pay for the damn access.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I'm like, are you guys freaking kidding me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when someone gets something for free, I'm like, nah, that's BS, because I've worked my ass off all these years, same as yourself, like to get what we want and to be able to show people like, hey, it's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This life's possible. Yeah. So all this stuff, this craziness, especially, yeah, we went to New York. Like, we went twice, like in a matter of 4 months. And it was, so this was in March, I think. I took my in-laws. My brother-in-law passed away, got murdered in end of January.
Oh, wow. Sorry about that.
So my in-laws, they're heartbroken.
Yeah.
It was just my wife and her brother. And so we're like, let's just go to New York, because we love New York. Yeah. And they never experienced it. So we took them to New York. I'm not lying, bro. Like, we went inside of a store. It's in Manhattan. And I think it was like a Walgreens. It was not. It's like they call it something else. It's not like it's like a Walgreens, but they call it something else. Whatever store they call it. And dude, you see them like a whole group of illegals wherever they're from.
Yeah.
Like, it's not their fault. They're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Dude, they were stealing everything. You were walking in with backpacks, and then you see them outside. They all had phones. I'm not lying. You could clearly see who they were. There was like 10 of them. Young, they were probably 18 to 24 young men. And they went inside with backpacks, just started throwing everything in, walked outside, all had phones, laughing, joking. And I had told my mother-in-law, because I was waiting with my mother-in-law at the restroom. And what happened, like one of them, he didn't understand us. He jumped in front of her. She was in his restroom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, listen, man. And he looked at me. I looked at him, and I was like, I'll just leave him alone. Like, then I go outside, and he's with like 10 dudes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank God I didn't try to confront, really confront him, because that would have just been, they wouldn't have cared. Like.
Well, there's the whole problem. Like, they don't
even know.
They don't have to pay for anything.
Well, they're coming from a place where there's no rules.
Yeah.
To a place where there's rules. They don't know our rules.
Yeah.
Why would they know or even care?
Yeah. And then, so now all of a sudden they grow up. They either, do they ever do anything with themselves? They've never had to pay for it. They've never had to work for anything. They never had to do anything.
It's tough.
Yeah. I mean,
it's actually bad. It's bad, because you're not, okay, so you want to help people. Well, teach them how to be better.
Yeah.
Teach them how to be better. Teach them how to make money. Teach them how to get a job. Teach them how to speak English. Teach them how to read and write. Teach them, don't just throw them somewhere like freaking animals, bro.
Yeah.
If you think about it, they're like they're letting people in like loose animals without teaching them anything.
And then there's no rules on these people.
And I'm not calling these people anybody animals, but that's how that's really, if they look at, that's how they're being treated.
Yeah. But there's no rules on any of these people. You can't like people. I mean, people have come in and DUIs, murder, that kind of stuff, and they just there's no problem with it. This sooner or later the system's going to break. And
yeah, it's pretty bad. Think about it. If you got DUI, bro, you're like going to jail, losing everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's terrible. That's terrible.
And they like, I was reading, there was a DUI in Florida, and they're not allowed to deport him. He's not even supposed to be here. If I go to Italy or something and I want to stay more than 6 months, I got to get a visa.
Yeah. Bro, you go get in trouble in like Iran, you're getting killed, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting decapitated, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's their laws, right? What do you think like is a fix?
I don't know. Like, I try to get, obviously we need some change in the administration.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Like,
so you're telling me Biden's not doing his job?
Biden is not doing his job.
Is he even awake?
I don't even know.
He's like a zombie. You ever see him walk? He's like a robot, bro. Like, he's stiffer than these new AI robots.
Yeah. Well, I just think that there's the good old boy network that has the board of directors is running this country, and they got their puppet. This is my opinion, and they're pulling the strings, and they like this system because he's not pulling the strings. They're pulling the strings.
Yeah. They're utilizing the political I want to say campaign canvas or that whole team to do what they need done.
Yep.
I think
they need somebody that they can control to do that.
Yeah. And so the change is the opposite of Biden.
Well, it's funny. Once again, it's crazy. Like let's just say I'm a Democrat, Republican. Even if you're either one, like, how in the world did they not replace him? Going, this isn't our best candidate. How did they not go, this isn't our best opportunity to win an election? Like, I mean, let's go back to the basketball analogy. Are you going to send out, the 50-year-old Michael Jordan to compete with Anthony, right? He's just like, you couldn't pick somebody else to.
Are you comparing Biden to Jordan, bro?
No.
Let's rethink that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, seriously, it's like, he's like
the what's that college kid that was on a dream team? I forgot his name. Remember that there was only one college kid on the dream team, the first dream team.
Yeah, I forget his name, but
he didn't turn out to be too much.
Yeah, but it's crazy that like you really put him back up there, but they can control him. So that's the reason he's back up there. And that's obviously I try not to get into too much politics, but
let's get into politics because people need to learn the truth, man. Yeah. It's crazy. So I was watching Vivek and all them were at the court case yesterday. I don't know if you're paying attention to all the court cases.
Yeah.
And they're Trump's on all these. He's got court cases everywhere. And if you ask someone that has a Democratic view, Trump's just like this nasty guy, right? And I get it. He looks like a nasty guy, right? They forget to look at themselves, right?
Yeah.
And so, but if you look at like moral authority and integrity and certain things, it's like, okay, well, if you say he's not this way, but you're not this way either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just like the funny thing is like you go to Trump and everybody like makes fun of his Twitter and hey, what's funny is hey he's allowed to. I mean, we can call him what we want, but he's got the freedom of speech. He's allowed to say whatever he wants. Now, did that possibly cost him the last election? Probably.
It did. He's better now. But his freedom of speech is going away. They're getting him all kinds of gag orders and stuff. Yeah. And I think all of our freedom of speech is going away.
I mean, if this is like back to the political system, if they can really just make up rules, like, I mean, what they got him accused in New York for, didn't Hillary Clinton do the exact same thing?
They all do it, bro.
Exactly.
Like worse. Yeah. I mean, this guy, if you look at like their net worth, I think he's lost $1 billion since he started this whole thing. Yeah. Trump. Right? These other people have made hundreds of millions. Yeah. All of them.
Yeah. It's crazy. The fact that they can, I mean, even the fact, it was a little disappointing when Arizona, like,
oh God.
It's like, come on. Like, I mean, we're going to put them in a court case to try to just make the publicity bad. So you try not to vote for him. Who do you think's controlling all this? Yeah. It's the board of directors that are controlling Biden. And like, really, you're just going to you're going to just ignore all this stuff? Yeah. I don't usually get into politics. Right?
No, I love it. Dude, I pay attention to all of it. I follow it a lot. I think just because like I want to know what's going on and where to navigate, because everything I always talk about, like everything's about legacy. Like children's children, right? Yeah. Their children. Like if we don't fix the stuff that's happening now, we're not like our grandchildren. Do you have grandchildren?
2.
So I'll have grandchildren. Your great grandchildren. Like they're in a hot mess.
Yeah, hot mess for sure.
You know what I mean? If we don't start fixing the stuff that, imagine though, like all the people that they let in the country. I forgot how many millions of people. What 10 million, 8 million, whatever it is. It's a lot of people, right? Like how do you fix that?
Yeah, just to try to get votes, right?
But how do you fix that? They know what's wrong. They know they screwed up. They could care less now, right? And it gets to a place where people won't say sorry. You know what I mean? Even if they realize they screwed up, they won't say sorry. No. Because saying sorry means they're wrong. And if they're wrong, they're out. Yeah. Right? So, anyways, I pay attention to it. I'm totally voting Trump. Did you see? You didn't see my post on my MAGA hat, bro? I bought a nice MAGA hat at Mar-a-Lago with his signature. It was clean.
Well, I hope we go back to a red state. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's good for entrepreneurs. I think it's good for the psyche, like, because you kind of know when you're a hard worker, like, you worked for everything you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you see people getting free stuff and all kinds of craziness, and it's just like, man, that's really not fair. You want it to be fair. Like, oh yeah, this is fair. Is it really fair?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Teaching our kids a bunch of weird stuff in school and exposing them to all kinds of craziness, and you got kids don't know who they are, if they're boy or girl or whatever. Just like it's crazy. It's a madhouse.
It's gotten too much.
Yeah, it's a madhouse. It's when you have gays bashing transgenders, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with either one, but I think you should be a man if you're a man, and a woman should be a woman. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But that's when like it's gone too far.
It's gone way too far.
Gone way too far, right? So, anyways, I'll get off that subject. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we covered it,
and I appreciate it. So before we leave, if you could give the listener one power nugget, leave them with one nugget, whatever it is. What would you leave them with?
Keep dribbling the basketball.
Oh, I love it, man. Back to the basketball. Keep dribbling. Repetition. Repetition helps you build your reputation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Don't be the globetrotter.
Yeah. Just keep going. If you like, just to even back the simple difference between 2,000 and 4,000 steps a day. It's 15 minutes.
I'm gonna do it. You
It's
told
only
me. You
15.
challenged me, bro. I'm
Yeah,
telling you. What I'm gonna send you a post. Now we're buddies. I'm gonna send you a post and be like, look what I did. I'm gonna show you it. I'm gonna take a picture of my watch, and I'm gonna help you keep me accountable without you even knowing it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be keeping me accountable. You don't even know it.
But what's great about that is if you just conquer that first 15-minute challenge and do it for 30, 60 days, and now it's a habit, right? Just it's part of your routine. You just add another
one. And add another one. I love it. Keep dribbling, guys. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Follow this guy. Where can we follow you?
Just on Instagram, Chris _Eymann. I'm on Facebook too, but I'm like 7,000 or 8. I'm maxed out. You're on a wait list of thousands of people waiting to be.
Well, I didn't know they had that. Are you on LinkedIn? No.
I don't pay attention
Business
to it.
to business.
Yeah,
I'm on there a lot. Yeah. Okay. I'm on all of them. So don't forget to follow us, like all of our stuff, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow this guy, and be blessed.